Welcome back to a little update video. We will talk today about AMC. Is it now going up or not? Is GameStop still going up? What is DGT doing? And a little update on BYND. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal Method. I will link the tutorial video at the end of the video, or you just search for the playlist Fractal Method. Well, then let's jump into AMC. So today we will just look what we have done in the last 2 weeks. If you want to see the full story with 1-part squeeze, 2-part squeeze, price targets, and so on, just watch the video I link at the end of the video. So let's zoom in. So because I got some questions today, why did we pull back today? Yeah, I will try to make that today far easier and do it step by step. I mean, the most easiest way would be if you watch the tutorial video, so you know what I'm talking about. But for this little update, I will try to explain every move. So for version 1, yeah, that's the most bearish one, just means this wasn't our bottom. We will knife, we will break or touch 133 and most likely find till Friday a new low. What would this low be? Something under this. 130 to 128. I really don't want to touch this trend line. What trend line would that be? Well, that would be just our mega firm pattern. And as we see, in March 2020, we touched it once. In 2020 and 2021, we didn't touch it. And in 2024, we touched it once. So I really don't want to touch it now. Yeah? Doesn't mean we can't, but I don't like to. Also, for the next question, this can't happen. Also, I mean that we're making a new low because GameStop is so bullish. I will show that again. So, left side AMC on the 2-hour, right side GameStop on the 2-hour. Both 2021. Yeah? And just saying, an AMC found its all-time low in 2020 and 2021. GameStop was bullish all the time. You see it there. So saying it's not possible? No, it's very possible. Yeah? I don't think so. I think we could be already here. Yeah? So January 6th, in the best case, we would be right now January 7th. Yeah? But it's not impossible. Okay. So that's the most bearish version. Yeah? And in my opinion, we will see our answer till Friday. Yeah? The normal version, so version 2, which in my opinion will take earliest end of February, latest second week of March, would be just what I showed here. Yeah? Means we already had our button last Friday. We now have to do our big higher low. Then we have to go up. I mean, I know our 200 AMA is already somewhere in here, so we are not breaking the 200 EMA. Yeah? This would be our A. Then we take our fib to our peak of our A, make a 0.5 pullback, and then we go. And to say that, we already did this. Yeah, it's the same like in 2020 and 2021. I show that just so you have a picture how it would look like. So in the best case, we would already have done our V. Perfect. Somewhere in here is our little higher low. Yeah? And we would still do next this higher low. Yeah? So January 6th. And then we would come up to our A. Then we take from the bottom to the peak our 0.5 pullback. And then comes the big squeeze. It's also the same what we have done in April 2024. Yeah? We did our little higher low. We went up to our A. Then we took the 0.5 or 0.618 pullback. Yeah? Added a little higher low. Yeah? A micro higher low to the A, which was perfect. So here to here. And in the moment we finished this, we got our 2024 run. Yeah. So, and in 2025, we did the same thing. Yeah. That's why I am saying we are not squeezing from the V. We never did it. So how long could this take? Yeah, that depends on the volume, I really have to say. We need these landmarks. Yeah. This can take, if we have, I don't know, 500 million to 1 billion volume, this could take 3 days. If we are only doing 30 million or 5 million volume a day, this maybe can take till April. I don't think that. Yeah? But we need these landmarks. And as I already said in the last video, yeah, I can live with it if we are not doing this pullback. Yeah? The last pullback of our A. If we just get extreme volatility and volume and just jump, fine. Yeah. What I can't miss is the higher low. We need this higher low. So, because I got many questions today, you said we need this A and the 0.5 pullback. Why do we do that now? So, just for explanation. It would be easier if you really would watch my tutorial video, because in 10 minutes I explain everything. But the thing is, okay, I know maybe you're not really that interested or you don't have the time. Just for this little short section, I also saying in the tutorial video that every of our big letters, yeah. So for example, the A is a big A and at the same time a little C. What does that mean? That if you go to your peak of your higher low or to the peak of your A, you have also a little A, a little B, a little C, a little lower high, a little midpoint, a little T. That is what I meant today. So what I meant today is we are right now in the way to our big higher low. For the big higher low, we have here at the peak a C. This would be just the peak of our higher low. What we did today, if this is the bottom on last Friday, we did a perfect higher low under the trend. Yeah, if you look from the low to the peak, 786. Yeah, perfect. Then we broke out over our little previous T. That means that this here, hopefully, easily, most likely, is our little A. Yeah? And that means we have to do a 0.5 pullback from our V to our peak. And if you look right now, we are between the 0.5 and the 0.618. So in the best case, if this is right, we will now, from tomorrow on, will go up. If we now have to do a little B, depends on the volume, yeah. And if you have to do the 0.5 pullback from our A low, we will see. I mean, depends how quick we are. Yeah? But if we go one by one with our rules, I mean, the thing is that's micro tracking. Yeah? Normally, you're not really doing that. Yeah? Normally, you just make your big tracking and then you wait. Yeah? In AMC, of course, we all want to know when is the day? So if you're a little bit slower, yeah, well, then we go up to our little b, 0.5 pullback, then go up to our little c. This little c is the same place like here, just the peak of our higher low. And then we have to go down to where? Now let's say, would be a little bit too high, but let's say 179 is our peak from our higher low. Right, then we take from our V last Friday, 0.5, and then we have come back under V under A. Yeah, as in this case, it would be here. Under V, right where we are today. This would be the finish of our higher low. And I could bet I already know the news for that. Yeah. In the quickest way, we have a massive green day tomorrow, massive green day on Wednesday. Maybe it takes till Friday. And then suddenly AMC is saying we want to dilute now. Yeah. Or they publishing the old dilution news again. They like to do that. Yeah. Perfect news for the knife. Yeah. And after that, we go up, if we're holding that, not like here, but we have to hold here. We go up to our big A. And also this big A is a small c, has a small b, has a small a. Yeah? So I don't know if all of you already traded on the stock market, but except we're doing a squeeze, then you see something like this without pullbacks. Normally, you have this price action, up and down, up and down, up and down. And for a bullish trend, higher highs, higher lows. Yeah. So this would be the normal version. The only alternative, except the bearish one, would mean that this is still our micro higher low. That means we have to go down tomorrow. That means we have still to go down to 138. Down here, or most likely 135. And again, we have to bounce here. Yeah. If you're touching or breaking 135, then we make a new low and we have to start all over again. Yeah? But if we go down from here, yeah, then this whole thing is our little micro higher low. And then again, we have to break out. This would be then our small a, then 0.5 pullback again. And then we're doing the higher low again. I know it's very nerve-wracking and shitty, but it's just landmarks. Yeah? We have to fulfill landmarks. And what we 100% need is at least a small higher low, not a micro higher low. Because why is this higher low not enough? Just because if you zoom out, you don't even see it. Yeah, that's the main problem with this thing. Yeah, in 2020 and 2021, you can at least see it. Yeah. One last thing, I agree, because maybe I get this question. You don't see it here. Yeah, because you have really go in 2024 on the 1 or 5 minutes to see it. We just went up, did our A and pull back. So in that case, I mean, okay. In that case, from tomorrow on, we just do this. Fine. Also fine. Yeah. Then we have this little higher low here, and we just go up to a 0.5 pullback and we go. Yeah. Also okay. Yeah. But there's no way, in my opinion, and I say that really, it's no way, in my opinion, that tomorrow, yeah, or Friday, if we're just doing this till Friday, that we suddenly squeeze. Yeah. not without a big high low or a big A. Only my personal opinion. What I also have to say, yeah, if you're doing very slow till end of February this year, and it's already the last week of February, in my opinion, we will do this till April. Yeah. In the best case, we are finishing at least this in the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, it will take longer. Just my personal opinion. And one last thing before we jump into bullish GME. I already have a position. Yeah. Because all these landmarks can be speed up with volume. Yeah. If you already, as I said in the last video, if you suddenly in after hours during the market, during the market day, you get suddenly 1.5 billion volume, and you just suddenly do this, yeah, then you do these landmarks quick. That's my reason for it. Yeah. But if I see us creeping around $2 in the last week of February, I will close my tunes because I'm not waiting that they are losing value. But that's my personal thing. Okay. Well, then let's jump into GME. So GME is way easier. But also for the full story, for squeeze price targets and I will link the last video. At the end of the video, we will just look what we have done today. So let's zoom in. So with easier, I just mean I really think we only have one version left. Yeah. If you watched my last videos, you all heard I had two versions. One for upside and one we have to go down. But I already said, what was it, last Friday? We didn't got our knife candles. Yeah. So I think the version with the $17 is finally dead. So what will happen next? Well, we will go up to our A. Yeah? And my price target for our big A is something around over 28. 28 to 32, 35. This would be our big A. Then we take again the fib from our low, which is on November 21st. 0.5 pullback. And in the moment, GME is here. AMC is also finished. And both can go. Yeah. Also here, the same like AMC. This A is at the same time little c. And for little c, we also have a little b somewhere in this uptrend. And what we have done here, so what we have done on Monday, January 26th, was just our little a. So our V was November 21st. Then we did a perfect higher low, which ended V and A and under the 786. Perfect. We added another little micro higher low, which didn't broke the 7.8, but V and A, so also perfect. And then we made a breakout, 0.5 pullback, upside. Perfect. Just perfect. So what will happen next? Well, if we are quick, and if AMC is also quick, we will just go up, 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 up. Yeah, wherever our little big A here is, and then pull back. Yeah? If we need more time, then we will just repeat this one. Yeah? So we will go up. So in that case, yeah, somewhere in here, 29-ish. Let's do this. 29-ish. Then we take from our A bottom, 3.5. and then we will pull back. This would be our B pullback. After that, everyone will cry, it's not squeezing, and we go up again. And then we still need the 0.5 pullback from our A. And then we squeeze. Also here, same thing like AMC. If we, end of February, and I mean the last week of February, are still creeping up here or up here and slowly grinding down, I think we go into end of March, April. Just saying. Yeah. If we speed up with volume, we could easily finish this whole shit in February. Let's see. But same like AMC has to do a high low, GME has to do this A and this A pullback. It has to, in my opinion. Yeah. If you have a different method to track it, fine. I hope we all win. But GME looks perfect. And the thing is that AMC also looks perfect. In my opinion, we are really that close. Only question is February, or is it again April or March? But I really have to say, I don't have a bearish hold anymore where we say it's not this year. I think it's this year. No financial advice, of course. Okay, then little update on DGT. So today also a small update only because it's during the week and you maybe don't have so much time. Just saying for DGT, the fractal is finished. Yeah, so our fractal started in a higher low, October 2021, and it finished our higher low here in November 2025. We had our A, B, C, lower high, midpoint T. And in November, we made our low, made a little, let's zoom in. So we see that already. Yeah. We made our little tiny higher low. That's not enough. The same like AMC and GME. It's not enough. You need a bigger one. You finish this higher low, and in the moment you finished it, you got merger news and you went up. So what are we doing now? Well, just for short, we have to do now our big higher low. Yeah? And the same like I showed in AMC. Yeah? This here would be our peak of the big higher low. This is also a C. What we have done in the last weeks was just A. Yeah, the little A to this higher low. So, and of course, in my old tracking, A was finished here. Yeah? But we broke under this. So can't be possible anymore. But we still have the possibility. We are right now at the 0.618. If we bounce here, yeah, then this was still A. Perfect. We go up to our B and then to our top of our higher low. So 26 to 35-ish. If we're still going lower here, yeah, that would be the old version. Just means this isn't A. This is our middle higher low. I know we got very many higher lows now. And that means you will have to go down here under 11.43. This would be then your V and A. Then this higher low is finished. And then you would go up over your T line. This would be then your A. Then again, you do your 0.5 pullback. This would take longer. Just saying, yeah. And so if you do that really that shit, this will take long. But it would look like this. So let's see. Yeah, that would be the alternative. Yeah, but if you bounce from here, you already made A. You go to your B. Still looks absolutely fine. And of course, if you finish this high low, I'm not saying it will take so long, yeah, but in the moment you finish this high low, the real big move comes after you did this big high low. Because after you did this, your next really big landmark is A at 57 and B at 80-90. That is the big play there. But let's see. And one last update for BYND. This is really a short update, while because nothing really changed. Yeah, full story I will link in the last video. We just look at what we have done today. So here we are dropping. I already said in the video yesterday that this whole thing is T. What I mean with this is just the T of this higher low. This whole thing is our higher low. And we are so close to finish it. What is still left? Well, nothing. Technically, this T, our last time to sell, our last landmark before the V, is finished since we broke under 80 cents. Yeah? We still have a gap here. I talk about the gap from here to here. There's still the last open gap. This gap is closing at 66 cents. So my opinion was always, if we break down here, we will fill this gap. My time frame for this is this Friday. Yeah. So I really would like to see that we go to 66 cents till this Friday. I mean, it's only what, 8 cents. We only need 8 cents. Yeah. But I'm also saying again, as always, if we are not filling this gap, why ever? Yeah. If we start doing a higher low here and suddenly bouncing here and going over this trend line, even if we not fill this gap, that's bullish. But I still think till this Friday we will fill this gap, and then it gets really interesting, because our next target for BYND was and always will be $15 to $25, and pretty fucking quick in my opinion. Then breakout retest, then B 43 to 70. Yeah. So we are so close. And the interesting part is, so many other meme stocks are so close. And AMC and GME is also so close. So to end this video, that's also one of my main reasons I don't think we need to wait till March, April, May. Just because so many tickers are in the place where it only needs so few to be finished, or already finished, are already doing the higher lows. It just feels like 2020 and 21 again. Could be wrong. As always, if you liked it, leave a like. If you have questions, write it into the comments. I read all of them. Just saying, really all of them. And I really try to answer them. And if I can't answer them in the comments, I will make a video and try to explain it here. Yeah. The tutorial video, which is really helping, is here. Last video with full stories in the playlist is here. And if you want to see more, you can leave me a number. Let's see what happens tomorrow. See ya.